everyone, today we're going to work on our pumpkin project. So if you watch the supply video and you're following along with the same types of projects, you're going to need small pumpkins. These I purchased from Goodwill. Like I say, they're kind of stone. They were $2.99. I think these were the same. Yep, $2.99 for these as well. And they happen to have 5 of them. I'm sorry, 6 of them, which is good because I could actually make words with 6 of them. You can find similar items at like 99-cent store or Dollar Tree, and you can do this project with any size pumpkins, just whatever you prefer. And I also picked up at the 50% off day at Goodwill these stamps. They're normally $2.99, so I got them for about $1.50. And I was initially going to stencil the pumpkins, but if I can get these stamps, they were smaller, so I think I can actually fit them on some of these grooves. So if you notice, these pumpkins are very, very, very textured, and it's going to be really hard to try to stencil something straight. So these stamps, I'm hoping, are just small enough to fit on like where I have a flat space here. So I just have to come to the realization with my OCD, these are not going to be straight. They're going to be a little bit crooked. But it is what it is. I think they're still going to look really cute. So what my plans are is this is going to be a transitional project for Thanksgiving and Halloween. And what I'm going to do is spooky on one side, and I'll do that in black. And then for Thanksgiving, since I have 6, it should be thanks, T-H-A-N-K-S. Yep. So I can fit thanks on the other side, and I'll do that with like maybe an orange or a brown. The pumpkins that I happen to find also have a little hole in the stem. And if you can see by this one, this must be how they all originally were, with this really pretty like wrap here and the little leaves on the top. And what I'm hoping to do is take that same idea and try to wrap them with like a ribbon or maybe sequins with black for Halloween. And then I can do the same thing. I can either take this like tweed type rope or maybe like an orange, brown, or red ribbon and swap that out for the Thanksgiving. So what I'm going to do for my stencil as well is I'm going to use some Deco Art paint. Now these paints are at Michael's. I think they're normally like $2.97, and most of the time you've got a 40 or 50% off coupon, so these are fairly cheap. The little foamies, you can get these at 99-cent store or Dollar Tree if you don't already have some in a pack. And then I just use construction paper for my paint. That way I can just kind of toss it. And I have a bunch of different ribbons if I do want to follow through and do the ribbon wrap like I was talking about. My ribbons I usually get at 99-cent store and Dollar Tree because they have a lot of different cute selection. Like I've got burlap, I've got the little black sequins that I got last year at Dollar Tree. I just like to pick them up as I can. And then I also have the big fall ribbon that I got from the fall package. If you watch last year's crafting supply video, you'll see that score. So I washed and prepped all the pumpkins, and let's see, I'll start with this guy. And like I say, it's got a lot of texture, so I'm going to try to find one that is like this spot is pretty centered. And I'm going to take my stamp. And this can either be my S or my Y. It can be the first or the last. I think I'm going to make it the S to see how this really works. So trial and error. If this doesn't work well, I'm going to be making my own stencil. If you want to make your own stencil and you don't find the rubber stamp alphabet stuff, you can make a stencil by just going onto like Google Images and finding a font that you really like, or even doing something in Microsoft Word. If you find really pretty pictured stencils like this, or pretty pictures of letters that you like, and it's one of those that you have to pay for, just trace it off your computer screen. I did something similar last year when I was doing the witch silhouette, so if you want tips on that, you can refer back to that video. And I'm just going to dab the paint onto my stamp here. It's a really pretty design. I'm going to find that little spot that I had. There it is. And line up my stamp. Try try to get it as straight as I can. Press down. Pull off. And that's really not bad. It's missing the little top there, but that's easy enough for me to fill in with a brush. So I'm glad that most of it got on there, so that's pretty cool. So there's my S. And I'm going to repeat the same process with each pumpkin, finding the best flat spot I can. And then I'm also going to pull off all of this so that I can customize it for Halloween. And I will be back in just a few minutes. Y'all, I'm so excited those stamps actually worked. So, oh, it's probably actually the opposite for y'all. Swap these. I'm super excited. Okay, so there's my spooky. Turn that a little more for you. All right, so there's the spooky one. And what I did learn is with the stamps, these stamps worked really well. I think partially because they're not hard stamps, they're foam. So I was able to push in and bend them so they kind of conform to the shape of the pumpkin. And then just remember too, with the curves, you can roll them. So you'll have to kind of roll them back and forth to get the sides of your letters. The S that I had problems with in the beginning, I just pushed the top since I was able to contort it because of it being foam. It kind of pressed the top a little bit more, so that helped that to come out. Those have turned out all good. I'm going to run my strips of ribbon down each little part here, and I'm going to put a dot of glue at the top, a little dot in the middle, and at the bottom so it stays in place. So it's going to make it to where it looks like that. And depending on how this ribbon conforms, I may have to cut that down in size. But that's what I'm going to do, is going to dress up the pumpkins. I'm going to do that all the way around, and then I'll return again. Alright, so I've got all of the ribbon attached to the pumpkins. On the darker pumpkins, I did the solid black. And on the winter white pumpkins, I did the, it's kind of like a transparent, like a sheer black. So this is how they're going to look for Halloween. I'll do the same thing, and I'll turn them around, and we'll reuse these for Thanksgiving. Now this project, because all these pumpkins are stone, they were $3. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So that's going to be $18 and $2 in ribbon. Again, the stamps were $1.50. So you can do this project, of course, cheaper. The smaller pumpkins, you can get them at 99-cent store or Dollar Tree and buy them individually, or you can just get a pack at like Michael's or maybe Joann's, to where you can get ones all this size, maybe a pack for like 10. If you don't want to do the ribbon, of course, you could also do like raffia or twine in between, nothing in between. You could draw lines with different colored markers or paint in between. And then for the letters, again, the stencils, I happen to score those for $1.50, but if you pick up letter stenciling at like Michael's or Joann's or Hobby Lobby, you're probably looking at only maybe like $12 for a pack of letters. And then of course you can use a 40 or 50% off coupon, and that I would think would be at the higher end if you got something really decorative like the letters that I got. So this is Halloween, Thanksgiving. We'll turn these around, we'll do the same thing. We'll do thanks, and we'll do a different colored ribbon or maybe even a raffia. So I hope you guys enjoyed this project, and I will see you guys next week.